around in the ocean, kill 4 people who didn't deserve to die because you want to explore. He ain't no explorer. Stop calling people explorers just because they went somewhere far. An explorer is doing it for mankind. They going and getting data, bringing it back. He wasn't bringing back no dirt from the bottom of the ocean for us to analyze. He was driving people in the Coke can, driving past the Titanic, and ooh, there you go. All right, you saw it.
Comedian, former Daily Show correspondent, and current CNN contributor Roy Wood Jr. has thoughts about what the ultra-wealthy ruling class decides to squander their wealth on and the disastrous effects that follow.
That's what them billionaires do, man. They build submarines, they build space rockets, they build balloons to go right. It is a big question for white people. Why y'all always gotta go somewhere? Like, anytime a white person become a billionaire, they just build a spacecraft. I'll see you guys later. Sit your still and be rich. Just stay at the house. If I'm a billionaire, y'all would never see me again. I would have a grocery store. I would have a Best Buy on my compound. I wouldn't need to go nowhere. But them white billionaires, as soon as y'all get some shit, and I'm not trying to make this about race and say what you want about black billionaires, but they still alive.
In a perfect world, billionaires would not exist whatsoever. But given the hellscape we're currently living in, our lives would be far better off if they would all just F off to live on their secluded compounds like Wood Jr. joked about, instead of actively pillaging our government and stripping it for parts, all done at the behest of private corporations so they can eventually swoop in and hijack taxpayer-funded services to boost their bottom line. It is a dirty game, and those in power are willing to pay any price to protect their class interests.
A billionaire named Harlan Crow is flying Clarence Thomas all over the world on unreported trips, like an Instagram model, taking Clarence to the Maldives and the beaches and all. Paid for his mama's house, this billionaire. Paid for Clarence Thomas' mama's house. I gotta give it up to billionaires. Billionaires, boy, y'all are relentless. Y'all always come up with something new to buy. Like, just when you think of everything you could buy on Earth, a billionaire will come up with a new thing. Y'all buy space rockets, you bought Twitter. This man bought a Supreme Court justice. Do you understand how rich you have to be to buy a black one on top of that? There's only 2 in stock. And Harlan Crow owns half the inventory. We can all see Clarence Thomas, but he belongs to billionaire Harlan Crow. And that's what an NFT is.
We couldn't have said it better. When you become so obsessed with amassing so much wealth, power, and influence as humanly possible, the only thing left to do is to prevent others from chipping away at the outcomes of your exploitation, which conveniently goes hand in hand with acquiring even more wealth and power in the process.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Sports and comedy is hard. To me, it's harder than politics and comedy. Because at least the politicians, they don't take themselves seriously. They know they're running a hustle. And you call them out for it and they just grin and go, yeah, what you gonna do? But if you call out an athlete, an owner, a fan base, a city, they don't like that.
It's funny, isn't it?
They don't like that.
But just how ridiculous that perspective is.
And all you do is catch a ball, but you can't take the criticism. Meanwhile, my man over here making these crooked laws is getting all types of poor people done dirty. He can take criticism just fine. When we talk about like divisiveness and blind loyalty in politics, I think you're going to deal with that the same way you do in sports. And that's why I've always felt like sports and politics creatively kind of build from the same, bag of Legos, because It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how centrist it is about a particular team or ownership. Somebody's going to call you out and say you're playing favorites.
The parallels are clear as day. The red team versus the blue team mentality keeps the vast majority of the public focused on fighting each other to distract us from what's really going on in the country. A small club of ultra-wealthy people and multinational corporations bribing our elected officials to serve their economic interests instead of the interests of the people who elected them into office. Until we have an opposition party legitimately dedicated to eliminating money in politics entirely and committed to serving the economic interests of American workers, the corruption we're seeing running rampant throughout the Trump administration will only get worse.
I really feel like I look at this Trump-Elon relationship. You ever had a homeboy who had a girlfriend nobody liked?
All the time.
And he has to act like everybody is... we're fine, we're happy. It is going to take a consecutive series of brave people to keep this administration from going off the rails from some of the decisions. To Kerry's point in the last break, you have a brave district attorney. Well, you're going to need a bunch of brave judges because he's going to come for their heads too. And whichever FBI agents get replaced by the Jan 6 FBI agents that are eventually going to get fired, you're going to need brave ones there too to keep standing up to this.
Elon and the Prime Minister of India, Modi, you were just saying he doesn't want to run the country, but sure looks like
he does.
Might be the guy running the country, Roy.
Yeah, I just don't think that we can assume that everything Elon is doing is just out the goodness of his heart. I'm just here to renovate your government a little bit. This is
maybe he wants to be the first trillionaire. You said he wants to line his pockets. His pockets are pretty full. $400 billion.
Elon Musk does not really care about making the government run more efficiently to serve the American people better, let alone how cutting government spending impacts the MAGA base. He only cares about crushing any attempts at holding him and his companies accountable for the mountain of documented labor violations and other alleged crimes, while serving up red meat to the rubes gullible enough to believe him, or the snakes lying on his behalf to advance their own agendas.
I think the issue is they're not whacking enough. There's this concept in private equity when you get a bankrupt company and you go in there, you cut 20% more than your initial read. And then you find like a pool of mercury, the organization gels back together again. Always cut deeper, harder when there's fat and waste. Fat like a chicken. All of these agencies are like big fat chickens dripping over barbecues of fat. This is the best barbecue I've ever seen, but I don't think it's happening fast enough. They're not cutting enough. Keep slashing, keep hacking while you have a 24-month mandate before the midterms. Cut, more cutting. Believe me, it's going to work out just great. Everybody should be happy about this.
Even people with the nuclear codes, cut them too?
Cut everything. Because if you don't see what they're doing and they can't show you that they're adding value, you whack.
But it's not clear that they're even asking people to show them.
Because at the end of the day, nothing is ever enough for ultra wealthy people like Kevin O'Leary, who would rather let private corporations have free reign and total control over all of our lives instead of the flimsy democracy we're holding on to for dear life. A sovereign nation isn't a private equity fund, and it shouldn't be focused on turning a profit at all costs. But this is the type of political discourse that gains steam when human life and dignity have been devalued to the extent that it has in this country. And while all of this is going on, Trump is parading himself all around at the Super Bowl and Daytona 500. A Republican congresswoman, meanwhile, introduced a House resolution to recognize Trump's birthday as a national holiday. Seriously. Profoundly inept and unserious, but these are exactly the type of people willing to be blindly loyal to and follow every demand of someone like Donald Trump.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.